Let's switch to that. What's that? You're right, Matt. Sneaked myself a couple more seconds. We were trying to get something else set up there. So, yeah. And then also the connection was horrible when we started. So I don't know if you were here from the beginning of the intro. I jumped back in time to try and see if I could figure that out. So stopped it and restarted. Now it's looking strong. So we'll see. I really do think it's all in Spectrum. I just think their connection is not that good, and they've never been good at upload speeds. Anyways, that's. Even talking, I was just telling Dave, one of their salesmen, I was sitting next to him at a bar one time. He was trying to sell me on why Spectrum's better than fiber and all this stuff. And then I said, well, I need upload speeds. And he's like, well, we're not good at that. And I was like, well, then you're no good for me. What's up, Nate and Dimitri, Logan, Brandon, Dirty Rat, Outpost, Cycle and Gear, Salty Rider, Muff. Daniel said, getting 9 inches of snow tomorrow in Milwaukee, regretting not riding today. Yeah, I didn't ride today either, and it looks like our best day for, I don't know, going out for a long time, because we're about to get more, like, it looks like rain and slush mix, but I just had no motivation with the gray, even though today would have been the best day. I'm like, I don't have anywhere I'm trying to go. No one else is riding right now, and I just worked on other projects here instead. I'm like, I really should go out. The weather looks awful coming up, and I think we have another super cold spell coming up. Like, I have like 12 Fahrenheit and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, excuse me. That's why I gave the title of this video. I definitely, that January of all the snow and stuff was kind of fun to ride in. And then we got all this ice, which made everything sketchy. So Sunday I went out the door. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to go ride. And then I couldn't, I went down my parking lot. It was super sketchy. I'm like, I've got to cross the bridge. And I was like, I turned around. I'm like, it's too sketchy out here. Just everything was covered in ice. And there's still a lot of stuff covered in ice if it's been in the shade. So, what's up, Sim? Down, you said snowing in Cincinnati today. Huh. That's interesting because, yeah, we had no precipitation and we even had a little bit of a sunset. So, but most of the day was just really, really gray. What's up, Raymond? Whoops. Oh, I have a Masthead Single Origin Coffee Stout. So Cleveland Brewery. Actually stopped at a place I rarely ever stop, but I was going to Home Depot to work on a couple of the projects I mentioned. Actually making more of a backdrop for my photo channel and just the storefront of the studio area. So there's a spot over there, and it's such a mix of beer that is so old that sometimes when one comes back around, I can't tell if it's from the last run or if it's new. But because there's pumpkin beer there still and stuff like that, there's summer beers in there. But I was like, coffee stout will age well. So even if it is old, as long as he kept it not hot or something, it should be okay. So, and it is. What's up, Cycling Brian? John York. You said you want a steak flavored beer, Salty Rider. Have you ever had a smoked beer? I wouldn't say they taste like steak, but they taste like barbecue. They smoke the malts. I think we talked about this on one stream because someone was saying they lived in the part of Germany where those beers originated, but a lot of microbreweries, not a lot, some microbreweries make them now, and they're really, really good. I like them. Some tend to be very intense, and other people don't like them. But I order them at breweries, and people will warn me about them. Like the bartender will be like, "This is really smoky," and that's what I was hoping for. So, what's up, Peekaboo? What's up, Blaine? Kenny? Play the stream backwards to hear satanic messages. Yeah. What's up, Man Outdoors? Clunky? If you guys click on his name and follow him, he started posting some YouTube videos recently, so I just subscribed today. I only watched the beginning. I haven't had the chance to check it out yet, but more bike content out there is always good. Bicycletta, what's up? David? Ed Welker? You have freezing rain, but 40's coming on Saturday. Yeah, we have a little warm up coming, but it's showing all wintry mixed type stuff, so it doesn't look good. And then did you see, Dave? Was it like next Monday we had like 12-degree high again?
Are you serious? I don't look that far ahead.
This stuff is bleeding me dry with the heat. Finally got those big heat bills from
Oh my
January.
god.
This place is not cheap to heat. I mean, it's radiant heating, but it's a lot. There's a lot of space here, and a lot of old doors that do not hold heat very well. I actually have a down quilt hanging over the one in the basement right now. So, what's up, William LeBron? It looks like you guys might get a little luckier up there where you are, because Detroit looks like you guys might get snow. We're getting more of that horrible wintry mixed stuff. So, yeah, our journey. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I would love to just set up the trainer to like stay in better shape and just like knock out some riding. I mentioned this last year, but last year winter was so mild that I didn't have to stay indoors that much. But I'm actually worried about my cat because he's not afraid of bikes at all, and he likes to be in the area I am. And my trainer goes, I use these computers down here for the trainer, so I'm a little worried about it because in a couple minutes he'll walk over here and jump in my lap. What he would do if I was on a bike, and so that mine's a wheel-on trainer, so that spinning rear wheel it seems like it'd be really dangerous. So I was like, I need one of those fan mechanisms, like that keeps you from sticking your hand in a fan to like put around the back of the bike tire. But only 12 degrees in Colorado today. Jeez. Oh, Lebanon has snow today too. Interesting. 11 inches of snow this past Sunday. 2 more storms on the week. 5 inches Thursday, then even more Sunday. Yeah, I did see the East Coast was kind of getting pummeled looking at the people I follow out there, which is weird because now pretty much all of February we haven't had snow on the ground, but we've just had these horrible conditions that are worse. I keep wishing it would just drop in snow because when it was 30 and freezing rain, it's even my stairs still out the back are treacherous. Edmund actually ran out the back door the other day, and he went down. Like,
Did he?
he just like slid right down everything. He's never been on ice. He was like, oh man,
the ice is terrible.
cat on ice. Yeah. Oh yeah, the salt is, it's Gerg X1. Yeah, it's the roads right now are covered because they keep pre-treating the roads too. Like if it's really cold, they put the brine down, but since we've had this mix, they're just last Wednesday when we were riding, they were covering the roads in salt even before, when it was dry out, just looking forward to that ice patch hitting. So it's a problem around there. Usually freezing rain marks, so everything is always icy. Yeah, it's the worst. Like I said, I'll take that snow of January because at least I could go out for 12, 15 miles and ride in the snow. That ice, like I said, I couldn't get out, and I know the Yeti ride that I was heading to, they said that was a little treacherous as well. Like all our grass, everything was frozen. It was nuts. I walked over to uh, Duncan when I was out of coffee the one day, and it was like walking back. I had to walk like such an old man. Took me forever.
Shuffling.
Yeah, just shuffling. Kenny Cass said 1-3 there in Philadelphia. Yeah, it's weird how it's kind of because a lot of times what happens out east, comes if through our area, but yeah, we're just not getting the snow this time. Yeah, Ryan said I had always pronounced it Rausch beers, and that's what I'd heard brewers pronounce it, but I guess it's actually pronounced rock beer. But either way, I smoked beer, smoking. They smoked the malts, not the hops though. So they put the malts over like a smoker. So David's got a cat on my lap. I don't know where my guy is. I could hear him down here messing with stuff
in the corner puking.
Yeah, it sounded like he was puking, but I think he was just scratching at things. So. John's 81 degrees down under. Yeah, it sounds so good. Hey, what's up, Chuckles? There's an audio hum on the stream. Check the plugs. Before that was just, I know that whatever that compressor they have behind us was on. Let me know if it's still kind of going constant. Check the connections. But yeah, this time of year too, my heater kicks on, which makes a lot of noise. But yeah, let me know if it just stays on there. Yeah, I could see it on the whatever you call equalizer things that it's not going all the way down to 0 when I stop talking. Always something. 56 there in LA. It's not too bad. It's cold for Los Angeles. Yeah, we said ice cold. What's up, George? They're saying 15 centimeters tomorrow, but that's 40%. Yeah. What's 15 centimeters in freedom units? Hey, what's up, Wild Monkey? Beautiful sunny day out there in Tokyo. By the way, I did try to figure out shipping out to Japan, and for some reason, I can't figure out what I'm messing up in my shipping app. It won't let me go to the next step. Because I had just been checking on a couple people for the UK, and then I was trying to look at Japan, and I don't know if I'm messing up one of the characters or something, so I do need to email you back and show you what I'm putting in, and you could let me know if I'm formatting something wrong, because I went to the area you said and clicked on a house there and tried to copy that address, and I couldn't get anywhere for some reason. So 3 to 5 in Frederick, Maryland. So hey, what's up, Rocky? I saw you had left a comment right before I started to get ready to go live. Like I said, I was painting and building stuff, so I've missed the last about hour and a half of the YouTube comments on the last video. So snowing in Virginia, jeez. Yeah, ice Ice the worst. It ruins everything. You can't do even with the studded tires. I know there's like Large has those ice spikers which are much more aggressive than mine, and he ended up going out. But mine, I was just so nervous about just getting to where I was going. So I felt like if I got to the towpath where it's crushed limestone, I would have been fine. But I don't know. Also, my car was encased in ice, so I didn't want to even deal with trying to throw the bike in the car. Dirty Rat, you said it's nice full moon out right now for most of New York. Yeah, I didn't look. It looked like it was clearing off, and I know it's gonna. No, tonight's only gonna be 30, so it probably didn't clear off. Just got a little bit of sunset. Got to get you some golf cleat shoes for walking on that ice. Yeah, I actually my 510s. The first winter I got them, since I wasn't riding that much in the snow yet, I thought like, oh, I'll go hiking in these. I almost died. Me and Aaron went for a snow hike, and we went down this into this ravine in the Cuyahoga Valley, and I could barely get back up. What makes really soft rubber that makes for really good gripping on pedals with pins makes for horrible hiking. So I've always thought I should get some yak tracks to put on them, and I could use them in that way. But uh, this would have been the first winter where it would have worked. So think we've had a worse winter than you have in Detroit? Yeah, it looks like it's gone kind of back and forth because I know from chatting with Peter out there that it looks like sometimes you guys have been colder and sometimes we've been colder. So, huh? Splattercast 35K, another Akron YouTuber. What kind of YouTube stuff does he do? I'm not familiar.
They talk about like horror movies and stuff.
I don't like horror movies. That's why I don't know. I have a friend who does Tony, who's a channel member and pops in here. He does a podcast about horror movies, but I've popped into some when they've done some live streams. But yeah, I don't like horror. 31 degrees and a slight dusting east of Columbus. Yeah, I think we're at about 30. So that's why it wouldn't have been that bad of a day to ride. I think it got up over 30 for a while. Hey, what's up, Chuck? Out there in SF. Have you seen Terry Berenson? Have you been out there riding around? He's been live streaming from San Francisco the last, is it almost 2 weeks now? No, because last week when we were doing this, he said he just got in, so about a week. Catula micro spikes for walking and hiking. Check them out. It's one of those things where I don't like buy certain winter things because this year it seems like it's also necessary. And then last year it was like this time we were out riding in 60-degree weathers. That's how the kids say it.
Yeah, but you got a bunch of summer stuff that you're not using now.
That's true. But summer always gets hot.
That's true.
Winter doesn't always get cold.
Yeah, but when you need it,
Yeah.
you need it.
And it would last forever too. That's what I do remind
Right.
myself of winter stuff. Like I talk about the studded tires when people are like they're too expensive, and I think I looked it up the other day. I'm 6 years in on them, so definitely. I don't know. Paid for themselves. That doesn't even make sense. It's like what I said. Poured carbon in the. Did you catch that in the bike video?
Mm-mm.
I was like, yeah, like not a. I said it's not a constant pour. I'm like, that's not how carbon works. I said that's not how carbon works too fast to be able to even cut it out of the video. Carl Calberg, you're in Oaxaca, Mexico right now. Low 80s. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've shared a channel in the Discord before of a guy who rode through there, and it was some of the most beautiful riding I've ever seen in my life. Really, really cool. He hasn't put out a video in a little while. Looking forward to the next one. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it'll come to me some point in the stream. Hey, what's up, Pudgy? Said used Catulas a ton when you were a guide. Great micro spikes, but you have to keep them maintained since they're not soldered. Huh. Like pins on bike pedals, like where you have to, or like the studded tires, you have to just like screw new ones in every once in a while, or what? Oh, you're moving back to Japan, Rock Eastwood, in April. Oh, wow, that's soon. No more East Coast winters for you. You should come out to the meetup in late March before you head back out there, but that'd probably be a little close to when you're about to do a big move, so. Oh, what's up, Michigan biker? Cheers. Ah, Peekaboo said you've been sitting on your ass since November. I've tried to ramp up beyond just the stretching and like the sit-ups and core stuff I do, doing like as we talked about like the knee bends and heel raisers and doing a little more to stay in some kind of shape. It'll be interesting because March 1st is Road Apple Roubaix, which is usually a, a ride that I kind of race, not against anyone else, but just myself. But I'm going to be in no shape to be in the usual kind of times that I've been. And especially after, I did the Festa 500 and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going into 2025 in such good shape. And then it's been like nothing. So, what's up, Captain Henry? Said the blues is real here in Northern EU. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Chuckles. Now, yeah, Christopher, I've seen people like do like the homebrew studded tires. There are some things, like I said, that I'm willing to pay for. I do always make that joke with my girlfriend though, because like I like built a couple bird feeders for out back, and she was buying one at Home Depot, and it was like $10, and I was like, hey, if you have 3.5 hours, I could save you $10, Where, yeah. So I go both ways on things, but uh, making my own studded tires, it's just been, I don't know. I'll buy the 45 Norse in that case, but. Would an e-bike help with the winter road challenges? I don't think so, because then you're just putting down even more power. So, from my perspective, it wouldn't. Nah, yeah, because I don't want power added to the pedal strokes when I'm on the slick stuff. Greg McCahone. That's not the name of his channel, Ryan. If it's the same guy, this is a guy who started up in, I believe, Alaska, rode all the way through the United States, and all the way through Mexico. And the last video he posted, I believe he was just finishing in Mexico. So his stuff is really, really well put together. Like, I can't believe he has the time to shoot it, puts the drone up, all that kind of stuff. Oh, gotcha, Pudgy. It's essentially put together like a chain, but the rings aren't welded or soldered shut. So, huh. I'll have to look at Ryan Clapp. If anyone remembers, drop that in the Discord under the share a video thing, and I'll check it out.
Huh?
What?
What? What?
Oh, not Ryan. They're talking about.
They're talking about that, Greg.
Yeah, he was talking to Ryan. Yeah, missed up the names. You know what I mean. You guys got it. Any trip planned for 2025? Now, I'm at the same thing I've said every time everyone's asked the last few weeks, where we're doing Gunk's Not Dead in April, which is out in the Hudson Valley, out Raymond's Way, kind of. But we have not made any hard and fast plans for our other trips yet. We've talked about it. We talked about it. Me and Aaron did a cooking class with Otis from Dirty River and another bike friend, and kind of throwing around some of the ideas we were thinking. But yeah, nothing besides Gunk's Not Dead that's totally planned. We need a video of the bird feeders. It's funny, when I first built that bird feeder, it was like right around the same time I got my 70 to 200 lens. So I do have some pretty cool slow-mo footage of birds flying onto the bird feeder from last winter. But oh, Greg did Alaska to Mexico. Is it the same guy?
You're all talking about the same guy.
What's the name of the channel? It's not a guy's name though, is
Greg,
it?
I don't know. I'm on his website.
Website? What is this, the 80s?
What's this?
You're gonna listen to this on cassette tape? Check out his Friendster account. What else is?
That's just his name.
His YouTube channel is?
Yeah.
Can you pull it up over here? Did you figure this out?
I thought I had it.
Do I have to show you or something? If you go to,
I mean, I was connected.
if you go to share screen, can you?
Yeah.
Are you doing it?
Yeah.
Did
Did I miss a step?
Just showing a picture of you scratching your head.
After 2 years on the road cycling.
Ah, that sounds like him.
Was he British?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else I need to do. I got the little co-host thing, got all that.
Down at the bottom where it says share your screen.
Yeah, should be.
Is it showing you that in Discord your screen's being shared?
I didn't have that. I got the little pop-up thing in the bottom.
How'd you do it last time?
I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah, I disconnected.
Oh. Made a noise. I thought that was good. You're the lesser Ryan. Rocky said, love the bike collection vid. Yeah, the yellow bike is a Roger Riviere. I always ride it on St. Patrick's Day, so I'll probably do a ride to make sure it's good to go, sometime the week before, and then my St. Patrick's Day video is always on that bike, just because that day especially reminds me of my buddy whose bike it was. So, yeah, it'll get out there, so there will be a video with it. But yeah, I rode the Gap Trail on that bike. Done a couple overnighters on it. It rides really nice. It's, like I said, straight gauge. It's not super light, but it's not light, but it's not the heaviest. Yeah, super light's the wrong word. It's definitely a straight gauge, steel bike from I'd probably say 80, 81. But yeah, Roger Riviere sold his name to all different bike brands. They made a few nice bikes in his name, but he would sell it to anybody. He was kind of after he was paralyzed, he was kind of a mess up. So. That reminds me, have I ID'd that Challenger bike yet? I'm not sure what you're talking about by Challenger. Because I know we did have a Bridgestone we were trying to figure out, but Large Marge is currently building that bike up. Yeah, let me know, Christopher, what you mean by Challenger bike. I'm drawing a blank on that. Tim, I probably watched a dozen of your videos before I realized your cat's name is Edmund, and I thought you were calling it admin, which is hilarious. Yeah, the administer. Well, we did make up an alter ego for him, Commodore Purry. Which, if you don't know, is another Great Lakes reference. Oh, nice, Peekaboo. Let me check it out. Do I need to turn you on some way over there, Dave?
It's got to be on your end now, because my little pop-up shows what I'm
sharing.
sharing.
Over here. Okay. Let me go into general. Oh, there we go. Is that what you got up?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Huh, did I just never realize what that guy's name was? Just watch it when it pops up because he looks so recognizable. It's giving us shoddy quality again, but
Yeah, I don't get that. You going all the way to Argentina?
yeah, I think he was trying to go across the whole continent. I can't tell from that if I have to look in if that's the same guy because it's so blurry. Isn't there a way to fill the screen? Or does it just pop out? Oh, look at that. No, it's the same thing.
That's what everybody tunes in for. Every week, it's always troubleshooting something.
Yeah, everyone's trying to help now. I'm not sure this is the same guy because it looks like he's always with two people here, right?
Female, Anna.
Yeah, this is a different guy that's riding across the continent. Another different British guy.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher became a member. Pudgy Pedal Pusher celebrates 47 months of membership. Do I need to turn you on over there, Dave? Electric plug, light bulb, torque, compression.
Yeah, huh? I think this is a different person. I'll have to check this channel out too, because these views I think are way higher than the guy I'm watching. So yeah, just a coincidence. Kenny, I remember my first MySpace. Yeah. Do I want anything from Belfast? Huh. Find me some original Stiff Little Fingers records. Actually, I have most of them. But I do have inflammable material on Rough Trade. I also have Suspect Device 45 on Rough Trade. That's right. Oh, the frame. Yeah, sorry. Someone just commented that it is, like I said, there is a bike shop in the Netherlands called that uses the same logo, but they said they would. Was that you? I can't remember now. Someone they would check it out, but yeah, I do think it is just someone sponsored that shop sponsored a team back in the day and they put their stickers on it, but it's a beautiful bike in person. Too bad it's bent. But for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, I showed in the last video a cyclocross frame, must be 70s or 80s, that I have hanging on the wall. A friend gave it to me because he bought it on eBay, but it was bent, so he couldn't build it. But he gave it to me so I could use all the components, which I have on a bunch of other bikes. Pudgy's the Dutch CS bike. That's. Tim needs to turn Dave on. I missed. Of course, I said that. Took some time. The guy I'm watching too goes back home once in a while. He doesn't go all the way through. I wonder if I could find it. I don't even know what I would. I can't even think of how I'd figure that out. I could scroll back to the Discord, but that would be ridiculous. They broke up. Yeah, but where they show them riding together is beyond, I think, where this guy was still riding with someone. Oh, this guy's popped up in my feed before. It's not the same guy, because I remember where he said something about... Doesn't he have one called riding through the breakup or whatever? Yeah. Did he ugly cry in a video about it like Doozer? Or the vegan cyclist? Oh man. What do you guys think? Should I have a crying video? Should I have one where I'm having one of my worst days and I just break down? How would that do for the views?
Been a few times I thought you're gonna have to make an apology video. Where's the stream Discord? What's it called?
What do you mean the stream Discord? Oh, to share a vid?
Share a vid.
Yeah, that's where I had dropped it, but people share a lot of vids. That's why I was saying I'd have to. Oh, I think you're able to search it by my name though, aren't you? Can't you go to posts or yeah? Oh, she had a channel where she got real. Oh, it wasn't you. Okay, yeah. So someone over there in Europe did on that frame say they, and I think I did when I first looked too. Saw that the shop had a similar logo, but the shop now is mostly selling e-bikes. So, and I think I tried to write a translated message, an email, and it looked really bad, and I never ended up sending it. So. Dan cycles the world. There it is, balancing bike life. Yeah, he broke the frame. Now he's sponsored by. Is he sponsored by Tumbleweed now? Or I don't even think he says sponsored, but Tumbleweed gave him a bike, or who was it? Someone like that. So, oh yeah, there you go.
Looks great.
Yeah, there you. Oh, and now our bit rate is completely dropped on the stream as well, so everything will be nice and blurry. If we're even. Let's see what it is.
It's definitely choppy, but it's still up.
We're still up. That's good. Yeah, bear with us. Our internet has gone completely downhill here for a minute. Did I go back to the... Oh, you said there too. Yeah, Dan cycles the world. There's no crying on bicycles.
Well, there it is. Here.
Yeah, there's plenty of crying on bicycles. I'm just not going to film myself do it. Do I want to send that Fuji Del Rey 60 centimeter frame and fork to you? Can't get that size here in Japan. Oh, yeah. I think I saw you on Blue Sky say something about bike sizing. But yeah, it would cost so much more than that frame is worth to ship that to you. Said shipping t-shirts to the UK folded up in a paper envelope is $20. So I can only imagine what shipping a bike frame to Japan would be like right now. Mark said, watched a cool YouTube video, Pot of Coffee by Matt Westfall. Bike's the Great Divide mountain bike route. Is that what that? I've never actually said that. Tried to sound out that acronym. Everyone says Great Divide. Yeah. Very cool. Huh. I'm not familiar with him either. So. Tim Adrianson is also riding from Alaska to Argentina. Huh. It's a lot of people riding from Alaska.
It's a popular route.
I'm just like, where do these people get the money? like watching Dan Cycles the World, he does go home, and I'm like, I don't know if he's working then, because his channel is, like, what are the, I can't read on that, it's too, like, what are the kind of views is he getting? Like, it's not crazy. I know it's gone up over time, but he can't be a...
I don't even know where that, oh, there it is.
But I don't think he could, like, YouTube is supporting it with the views he was getting. Like, where that other guy has, like, 500,000 views on each video, that would support your travels.
His last one's 45K. He hovers around 20.
Around
average.
20K. Yeah. I mean, he's getting there, but I know when I started following him, his numbers weren't even that high. So, and yeah, I know and his videos aren't that often, so I know, a 20K video is still only going to be like $100. So, unless you have sponsors, and which it doesn't sound like besides Tumbleweed, he does. So, it's Tumbleweed. Oh, John, I hope you didn't get concussed or anything. Head's okay, I think. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people smash their hips on the ice. When we were talking about this last week, tons of people were saying how people had broken their hips and bruised their hips, and even the video I showed a little bit of ice in 2 videos ago, but that wasn't nearly as bad as it is out there now. So, yeah, there's a Discord. I assume someone has already dropped that link in the chat, right? No, not yet. Oh, there we go. What is this, 2003? Is that about the Discord? RM Dub on IG, yeah. Can hear the dial-up noises from here. Crying in your beer, not in your video, yeah. I did watch, like, as you guys know, I've shown, like, some of the struggles of having injuries and being real down about it, or just, like, even titling this video, like, because it is starting to get to me, the winter drags on me. That's why I just picked a different project today and stay in motion. That works for me. But yeah, I definitely don't want to keep everything like everything's always positive and super sunny disposition. But I also don't think people really want to go to YouTube. The majority of people who like watching bike stuff to see someone cry like the vegan cyclist. uh, One day that guy will pop in here and murder my family. Well, I guess he can't do that. That wouldn't be vegan. I believe that, Christopher Webb, because I have Funny Brad is an IT guy at the hospital, and one of his last major problems was a woman who bought a new laptop, was freaking out, going crazy. You guys are horrible. She was trying to use the cord from her last laptop to charge it. He was like, it was clear it didn't even fit in there, or didn't even kind of fit in there. And so, yeah, I could only imagine what yeah, well, like I said, I don't have to imagine. I have a friend who does IT at a hospital, so he has doctors that are just freaking out on him all the time, and the problems that they have are just so dumb. So, and also, I like a lot of people, I do tech support for my parents, which, no matter how hard I try, I can't get them to understand that Control C and Control V, or Command V and Command C on Mac, how useful being able to copy and paste stuff is. When I tell them I could just watch it go in one ear and out the other, they're not even trying to hear it. It's like I'm telling them how to do computer programming, So, yeah, it's been interesting too doing the IRL live streams, because I like the idea of leaving them up, because I know some people like to watch them after the fact. It's not a lot, but it's some, just like these. But then I get these comments on like, man, this video isn't the best quality, or this audio isn't as good as usual, and I'm like, this is a 4-hour live stream of me riding my bike, bro. Like, it's not supposed to be. And it makes it a little frustrating to, like, I don't know, someone will comment like, hey, I love your videos, but I'm not going to watch a 4-hour video. And I'm like, I know. That's fine. Like I said, there are people who after the fact pop it on when they're working in the shop or working wherever they do. There's someone who's able to pop on a live stream after the fact. I don't expect everyone to watch every live stream. In fact, I know what live stream numbers look like compared to produced video numbers. But it's one of those things where I don't want to not do it, and I don't want to have to constantly explain. So I'm just trying to figure out how you navigate that situation with doing more live streams if I do more in real life ones, which I plan to. I even picked up just came today an Osmo Pocket 4, because when I wanted to do a live stream riding out to take some photos last week, it's actually the video where I go out and take the photos. One thing I realized is with the way I had my setup for the live stream, I'm like, I can't get my camera out, because I would have to take this thing off, set it somewhere, get this thing out. So picked up another camera to do more of it, but yeah, I don't know. You guys are obviously people watching a live stream, so you understand how live streams work. But right now we're at real low quality, and some of you are still here, so. But that's how it goes. But let me know if the audio is staying level, because I know the picture is going to be choppy, but as long as you guys can hear, I think it's worth doing. But if the audio cuts out, then it's no point. George said cycling to Alaska to Argentina can be done on the cheap for $10,000 to $20,000. Huh. When I watch the videos, it's hard to believe that math checks out. And I mean, like, Dan Cycles the World is stealth camping a lot, but yeah. And I guess, I mean, if you don't have any bills at home either, so if I was going to do something like that, I couldn't maintain this place because I have a mortgage to pay. But yeah, $10,000 to $20,000. I mean, eating every day and everything, really? I'm not familiar with that one either, Chuck. Lohan Uraguib. I'll butcher that name, but very sad end to the story. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. Like I said, I watch the cycling channels I watch, and I find some new ones occasionally. I watch some of your guys, but cycling is 25% of the YouTube I watch. So, like I said, tons of nerdy photography stuff, then some physics and history stuff in there as well. Michigan Biker said, I feel like the next 3 weeks are the hardest of winter regarding mindset. Yeah. Because, come mid and late March, typically you're going to get some of those nice days that make the bad days at least a little worthwhile. So, what's up, Michael? What's up, Joey B? William LeBron was asking, how many of you ride 650B? I wonder if I could put up a poll for that. Let me see if I can remember how to do it. It's not showing me the options. Where'd all that stuff go? Engage with your audience. Start a poll. All right. I'll do 650 versus 700. We'll keep it simple. I know there's other wheel sizes out there. How do I make this? There we go. Whoop. No, that's not what I want to do. Well, I accidentally added an option, so we'll put 26-inch in there too. How do I make this poll go live? Do you see this? Oh. There we go.
Now I'm reading about the vegan cyclist.
We're reading about the vegan cyclist. He changed his name, isn't it? Just like VGC or something now?
VC Adventures.
VC.
You know he got like arrested?
Yeah, I did hear about
That's
that.
what I was reading about.
I can't
don't know
remember
about
why I found that. Someone probably posted in the Discord. Yeah, they did. And so I couldn't help but read it. Yeah. What did he do? Ride his bike in a national park? Or
He was riding a fire road into Yosemite.
Yeah. That sounded one like where I wasn't totally against him. It didn't seem like he, it seems like the least of his transgressions. Breaking, a little light trespassing has never bothered me. So. Oh, good. The audio's still hanging in there. So we're just dropping frames. Yeah, Sim, I don't like Brooks cadmiums, but there's a bunch of people here who do like them. So we've talked about it extensively. But, yeah, I just always say about saddles, can't really recommend them to people because everyone's so different. I'm a leather saddle guy myself.
Excuse me. Why?
You wanted to get into the saddle talk?
No.
They just beat me up. I don't find them comfortable. I find leather breaks into you, and I find it really comfortable. But like Otis, who owns Dirty River, hates the leather saddles and has traded me 2 already.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Aren't like the 2 you ride used saddles, like
Yeah, but
from
I bought
somebody
a new
else?
Yeah, but I bought a new one too.
Oh.
So the gunner got a new Brooks saddle. I think the only new Brooks saddle I've ever had. But I like them new. Some people don't like the leather ones till they break in. I like them right off the rip too. Right off the rip. That's what
Right off the rip.
That's what that was would say.
Oh, it's essentially a cadmium at that point. I mean, maybe a little.
I don't think they're the same shape. When you look at them, they're not the same shape. But
Cambium? Sorry.
yeah, I think I've always called them cadmiums, like those old shitty rechargeable batteries we grew up with. Was that cadmiums? Cadmiums?
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then you can't get the cutout. You gotta have the cutout.
They have leather saddles with the cutout?
You like the cutout?
I don't. I've never tried the cutout. Aaron likes the cutout.
Can't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, I'm not anti-cutout. I've never tried the cutout because I haven't had a problem not having a cutout. I don't think I haven't been a fan of the 650B bikes that I've ridden, but I also think wheel size is obviously not the only thing going into the geometry of a bike. So I rode Otis's Midnight Special last year, and he had 650s on it, and I didn't really like it, but that's supposed to be more of a road oriented like geometry, and I'm tall, so I'm like over 6'1". So I don't know. Terry always says this too, and I think I agree. It's like as a tall guy, unless I'm trying to eke out more clearance, I like the bigger wheels. Like I like having the 29ers, if I have to call them that. I like saying 700C, but yeah. Also, for the sake of the poll, for anyone who doesn't know, 700 is 29er, same thing. So just whether you're going to go metric or freedom units.
There is there is technically a slight difference, is there not?
Nah, 29ers are just the mountain bike way of saying 700. They're usually going to have like a wider, you know, like your wheels would probably usually have a wider diameter or whatever.
But 650 is.
But the tires would go, like 650 is 27.5.
Right.
700C is 29er. Like those tires would, between either of those two metrics, would stay the same. You could take something that said
They're
60.
not the same.
650 and 27.5 are the same. 700 29er. You could put those tires on. A 700C tire can go on a 650. Now you've got me messed up.
I'm sure it can. But
No, not that. A 29 and 700C are the same. 650 and 27.5 are the same.
Right.
Between those two, they're different. You can't put the tires from a
No,
650B on a 29.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
700 goes on a 29er.
Sure.
Same.
But not the same.
No, exactly the same. It's just freedom units versus metric.
There's no way.
It's 100% the same.
What's the equivalent of 26?
And I don't think they ever did 26s in freedom units. No, those are freedom units in metric.
Little tiny ass wheel on a road bike.
Yeah. We're calling you low quality viewers. Yeah, like I said, I definitely think it's worth it if you're trying to eke out more, you know, tire clearance for the right bike. But my gunner is running 55s and it's not maxed out, so, you know. And we're making it all the way out there to Japan, so. Yeah, Pudgy said the same. I'm a taller guy, so I like 29/700C. Because they're the same thing. Where's the... Oh, the poll's still going. I see some people are still answering. Do you see that on your end, Dave? Like, is the poll like on the screen or is it in the chat? Oh, it's in the chat, right?
It's like hovering above the chat.
Yeah, why is that happening? Why can't I see the rest of it? Are you guys able to answer the other or is one going to win because it's the only one you can read?
You just get to choose the right choice.
Is that the problem, though, because I have that chat overlay thing that I can't get to it?
No, because I'm getting the same thing.
How do I get it? How do I get that poll?
You're trying to answer your own
just
poll?
have to click on it. You just have to click on it. It opens up.
The side thing was only lets you close it.
Oh, wow. It's got even more vote. You guys are still voting on this thing. Is this like a live poll? Could you keep changing your answer? It's like
It's all about the interaction.
We do have 13% 26-inch tires in there right now. 700C just went down a notch. I'm going to call this poll live. Negative 25F up there on the Montana line. Damn. Yeah, that's too cold. Oh, nice, Josh H. I was saying that again in the last video. If you could have like a nice old, just not even cheap old mountain bike, just set up with the studs, it's great. So, been talking a lot of rim width stuff in the Discord too, which I have never paid that much attention to because I feel like I only have one bike with the actual real wide clearance where the picking the right rims actually mattered that much. But So it's not something that I'm well versed in, I guess is the word. So Sim said 26 is your go-to. Second Brian said I loved riding 26 back in the day. Yeah, there's not a lot of people making new 26 inches. I mean, usually they're actually the real junky department store bikes, but yeah, if anyone knows who is there any quality 26-inch wheel bikes out there that are new? I have 4 or 5, but they're all 90s or 80s. So what bike do you have the 650s on, Pudgy? Hey, what's up, Bike Breath? Really dug the latest upload. The fat bike video was pretty cool. Christopher, you chose 26 inch because your main bike is 16. Oh, like a folder or just a small, yeah, DC Metro bike, and building up a 90s mountain bike. John, you prefer 20 inch? I've never ridden, like, well, my dad has a couple cheap folding bikes he was given, and I've ridden those around, but I've never, like, seriously ridden a bike with smaller than 26-inch wheels. Yeah, if you're comfortable with your saddle, I mean, yeah, no reason to switch it up. Are those Cell SMP TRK saddles? Is that a leather saddle? Because I know people definitely talk about other brand ones, but I've just never, I can't remember all the names besides the French brand, which I say I can't remember all the names, but I'm drawing a blank on its name right now. So. Not the vintage one, Ideale, but the other brand that still makes really nice leather saddles that take forever to break in because they're really thick leather. Saddle Cell SMP Martin Touring, most comfortable saddle you've ever ridden. Oh yeah, those are the batteries. I must have got real behind on the chat. Nickel cadmium batteries. Yeah.
You pretty far.
Oh, I'll try and get this show on the road. Oh, that's right, Donald. I remember you using the stem shock. You gave me a seat shock too, and I have not tried it on a build yet. But maybe that one fits in the build I was talking about on the Fuji. Yeah, I guess it's same thing like with the cutout. Since I haven't had a problem with the ones that aren't cut out. Same like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I don't know if I do need a new Brooks at some point, which right now I'm pretty covered, but it might be worth trying it. So. I keep hearing, like, there's always that, like, yeah, 650B is dead. I feel like that's been going on forever, and as long as people keep making tires for it, you know, and there's enough niche brands doing it that I'm not too worried about it actually dying out. But even though I don't use it, I don't want it to go away. Bike Breath, are you running 615 on the Monsoon? I know I've watched your update videos on that bike, but I'm going to ask you that question, then I have 30 more comments to get through before I'll see the answer. 29 inches fat tire, 700C for sure. That's why I say, like, the mountain bike world says 29, road world, gravel world say 700C. And a little blurry line and where it actually starts. Yeah, anything I ride regularly, I put a Brooks B17 on. That's just what I like the best. Yeah, IKEA Rat 2. The other thing is Brooks I find need to be tilted different than other saddles, and that tilt needs to change as they break in. I think some people put their Brooks totally level because that's how you should put a normal saddle, and that's a mistake. So I'm not saying that was your problem, but because I have other friends who, like I said, don't like them no matter what. So I feel like that too, Ryan. It's just like when people say the big brands are going to kill off like mechanical, and like the niche is being filled like crazy. So, or like all gravel bikes have become race bikes. No, they're not. There's a million Sklar and all these other bikes that are now doing Taiwanese production and making all the kind of bikes that the general audience of this channel likes to ride. So, yeah, I think that stuff's always a little dramatic, and it gets a lot of clicks, so it works. But I don't think it's always that true. That certain things are dying. Mechanical shifting's dying. Like non-race gravel bikes are dying. I kind of feel like all that stuff's there's more options than ever. But snowing in Baltimore. What's up, Bill Baker? Hey, what's up, Hog Dog? Your full suspension is 26 inches? Huh. I would be the wrong guy to ask about sturdier wheels. People talk about it in the Discord all the time. But yeah, hopefully someone else answered in the comments already, because yeah, I am lucky that I'm just built like a stick, so I don't have to think about it. Yeah. Oh, you guys are saying what, the 26 inches and in old Europe? Yeah. I definitely understand gone riding on a 26 on a fat bike. That would make sense. The first time I rode a 29er, I was blown away. I didn't even really, like I'm saying, I only had my old Trek, and that was just my bike. And then I went on vacation and I rented a mountain bike to ride across this island that I was actually working. I was there for a friend's wedding. Got up in the morning, got a taxi into town, and rode back. And it was a 29er, and I was like, this thing feels awesome. It feels like a steamroller. I'll never forget that feeling of having the big wheels when I was only used to riding 26 inches. But that sounds spicy. What's up, Racer? Thrifty Frame Builder. He said you're 6'6", but you're also cheap and you already had 27.5. The other thing too is if it's what you're riding, it's what you're used to. Yeah, get used to anything. Like riding all of January on my old 26-incher. When I was taking it out, I wasn't missing 700C. I wasn't even thinking about it after a while. So, what does ETRTO stand for?
I don't know where you're at. I don't know where I'm at.
They're both saying 20. People are saying 29 and 700 are both 622. Does that just mean what the actual millimeters and metric would be? Probably. No. Yeah, I don't. I always read about all these ways to speed up braking in a Brooks. I don't know. I just feel like that leather is not that thick that I want to mess with it. I do proof hide, my saddles, but I don't know. I'm not going to do that. People have talked about boiling them, putting them in the oven, like the thing you're saying. I don't know. I feel like they break in and then they get so flexy and you have to tighten them. I don't want to rush that process. I get why some people might want to, but I don't know. Maybe I'm old school. Ride the 500 miles. It only takes a couple weeks or a month, depending on what you ride. I haven't balancing bike life. I've never. We've only just looked up those Infinity saddles when we talk about it on the stream. I've never met anyone who actually rides one. So. John, you said you got the Brooks with the cutout and cut it out even more. Very comfort, but it's totally stretched now and can't be made firmer. That'll be a problem down the road if you can't tighten. Well, I guess the thing you could do eventually is you could try and lace it. That's what some people do once the Brooks, you kind of maxed out the stretching it, then you could try and lace it underneath to pull some shape back into it. So. I'll go 6'4", 180, weird size between large and XL. Ed said 6 foot and he likes 700C for some things and 650 at other times. Yeah, I think, something more off-road oriented I probably wouldn't mind 650 on. It's going to depend so much more on like the whole geometry of the bike instead of just that question, though. So I think the poll people probably stopped answering. Let's see. Yeah, 700C is still the most popular. Does it publish the results when I do that, or just vanish?
It's over.
Just vanishes.
I can't find anywhere that isn't just completely in Dutch. But ET, whatever the hell.
It's all Dutch to you.
It's all Dutch to me.
I've looked into it, and a lot of bike companies are still selling 650. I agree. You see, they still give like a lot of bikes still give the numbers for like the tire clearance 650 versus 700. So
European Tire and Rim Technical Organization.
oh, huh. Wow,
It's
I
just
can't
a
believe
European
you
tire.
really went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's. I guess it's a new way of measuring tires. Huh?
Just probably being more accurate with the rim size by just putting in millimeters instead of numbers that don't really mean anything. Oh, Doug said you feel better on the 26, but it's been the main bike for a decade. Yeah. Everyone has a friend who likes the Infinity saddle. There's never the actual person. Yeah. I met her on vacation. You wouldn't know her. What were we saying? Were we saying that last week or something? I don't know. Stridesland is the new 26-incher. Check out the Beachcomber. Oh, Beachcombers? Okay. I probably have seen those and I didn't realize it.
You'll get to it, but pretty much everybody still makes at least one.
Oh, really? 26-incher? Like the companies? Huh. Oh, everyone's saying Stride. That's what they're saying right here, Strideland. What's up, John, by the way? The Peener vein? Is that what it's called? Crust Wombat is 26. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's like a dirt jumper, though. Oh, so people make dirt jumpers there. Does anyone make a bike that's not a dirt jumper? That's a 26-inch.
No, he says that too. Most dirt jumpers are 26, but
now that
like,
you guys are naming
Trek
them.
has the Marlin. It's like an intro mountain bike.
But again, that's going kind of back.
But that's not like the $200 to $500. It's like $1,000 bike.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, your Journeyer is 27.5. That's right. Enforcer is 26. Most dirt jumpers are 26. 24 Cruiser for BMX. Yeah, that's. Yeah. SMP stands for Save My Penis. Or some at Metro Parks where Dave works. Bertoon. Wait, why can't I remember how to pronounce Bertoon. Yeah, the French saddles I was talking about. Wow, I really got way behind there. Hey, what's up? Large has entered the chat. To prove me wrong, like usual. 24 inches, often called Cruiser. Oh, yeah, the Cell SMP. Gotcha. Man, I really did get behind. You guys were barely saying anything earlier, so I was taking my time. Who needs a seat shock? I want to get railed. What size tires did use on the 1980 10 speeds? 27 inch, but not 27.5. Two different things. In the U.S., Europe never used 27-inch wheels. They always used 700C. But when they sold bikes over here, they sold them with the 27-inch, and that's the whole thing I always talk about. Converting from 27 to 700 could sometimes get you sometimes a decent amount of millimeters in the tire clearance because you're moving the tire back in the stays a little bit. So the mirror saddle, I don't know that one. Oh, Monsoon is, that's right. Yeah, Monsoon is 650V. I guess I knew that. Yeah. Because I know that because Large rides one. He rides much smaller bikes. I didn't know if they did. Cause some bike frames, some manufacturers will, with bigger sizes, go up wheels. It's less common. I think it's becoming a little more common now, right? Would you guys say? Or there were brands that were specialty into that, like what's her name? The woman who owns that bike brand. She makes specialized in smaller frames and smaller wheel sizes. You guys will answer. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Sim. Erin seemed to. She still likes it. It looks really ugly though, the way it's kind of collapsed and broken in with the. Molten's made by Pashley. Those are two things I don't even know, but is that a brand from a land down under? Yeah, hot dogs. Some are. Some hate it. So yeah. So large said Cannondale, Kona, Trek, Specialized, and Giant all make 26. Huh. Yeah, I guess I just haven't followed anyone or anyone who's posted any. Like I said, outside of dirt jumpers, like where I've seen new, decent quality 26-inch wheel bikes, but I hardly know all that stuff. Yeah, 27 by inch and a quarter for the old 10 speeds, which are mostly 12 speeds. But yeah. But I know what you mean when you say 10 speed. What saddle you got up there?
The mirror is Specialized. It's I don't know, some new technology.
Oh, like a 3D printed some bullshit. Oh, they got. Is that Matthew Vanderpool? He's running one. Maybe I need one. Then.
That's not Vanderpool. That's Evan Pool.
Oh, that's Evanpool?
Yeah, Vanderpool's not on a Specialized.
Oh, you're right. He's on a Canyon. Fucking Canyon.
Fucking Canyon.
Yeah. So you ride if you don't have to work on your own headset. No, there was one I was live streaming the other. Oh, why is it coming in crystal clear now?
Probably because the stream has just crashed.
Yeah.
Now it's all using all the bandwidth.
All the internet is going. Oh yeah, because they got rid of that thing like net neutrality. So Specialized is probably paying just to beam a hard ass signal through. At all of our expense. Looks like some roadie bullshit to me. Yeah. Did anyone drop that Discord? Yeah. Lard dropped it. Oh, there was heavier guy here. I use 12G full spokes on your 650s. Yeah. Rocky said Philly Bike Expo coming up. Never been to one. Worth it? It sure seems like people like it. I've never been to one either. I always watch the video recaps, but smaller wheel, higher spoke count. That's about all I could say, but I couldn't give any examples. I hope they bring out 33s. Yeah, there are 36-inch wheels, Don, yeah. GCN made a pretty popular video with the big-ass wheels. Yeah, those are 36. Huh. Clonke said, my old boss was part of the initial Kickstarter for the Infinity saddle. Loved it so much she bought another one or two for some of her fleet. 40-inch wheels. Oh, thanks, IKEA Rat. Drop the poll in there in case I accidentally deleted it without being able to see the results, or you guys didn't see it. 700 got 58% of the vote, 25 for 650B, and 16 for 26-inch. Yeah. We'll put a 20-inch in next time and make it take away 2% from something. Oh, really? So you tried 650B and ended up going back down to 26. Yeah, Otis, who owns the bike shop, Dirty River, he's taller than me, and he likes 26-inch on some bikes, too. He had that Cannondale build up with 26-inch wheels, and he loved it. Again, like I said, there's so much more that goes into a bike than just the wheel size, the geometry built around it. I don't have any that feel as quick to me at 26 inches. But again, that could just be the dated 90s bike geometry or the way I've built those bikes up. So I don't mean that as a definitive, but that's what I was saying. When I didn't like the 650Bs, I think it was very specific to the build of the bike that I was riding, and I think there would be a time where going to a smaller wheel size for bigger tires would make sense. Anybody knows anyone who makes 650B rim brakes? Briff. I don't know who makes them. I talked in the last video about building up the Fuji with 650 rim brakes because I put that out there and someone reached out to me, but I don't know what they are. I think they're old actually. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll be curious to say who actually does make rim brake 650s. It seems like something that Crust would sell, but. Oh, Disco Whisk. So it is someone we know in real life, not imaginary. The Wombat is an alt bike. Okay. Dog Fan said he run 27.5 on the alt bike. The Disc Trucker is 26 inch up to the 56 frame size. I did not know that. Yeah. Peekaboo said my Trek Marlin has 29s. There's only one guy who rides an Infinity saddle. He just happens to have a lot of friends. An infinite amount of friends. 27 is 630 ETRTO. So, man, couldn't they have come up with something catchier for that?
Yeah, when you gotta type that out anytime you talk about it.
Yeah. ETRTO. Or they could have come up with something like NASA that's pronounceable, Scuba? It's been done. Just don't say ISO. I hate that one. ISO. Truck Dual Sports are 650. So it is a 3D printed saddle that's specialized. Dr. Bob, what's up? You said first bike you bought as a teenager was 27-inch wheel Schwinn Super Sport. Yeah, that's what I mean. Growing up, those were like the bikes that everyone had before, like, kind of everyone went to like the BMXs. I remember. Monsoon clearance isn't great at 700. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it'd be a little too tight for a bike that you kind of want more clearance on. Otis had my Raleigh when he owned it set up after a while at 650, but when I bought it, I put it back to 700 or traded for it. But I mean, it's like a 60. The frame's like a 60, but it maxes out. I've got 44, those newer 44 Renairs on there, and that's pretty close to as wide as it could fit. So, but that bike I ride is more of an endurance road bike, so I really wouldn't. Getting wider tires on that bike doesn't matter for me. If I gonna need wider tires, that's when I switch over to the Gunner. So good luck, Bicycletta, because I'm hoping to get like a 200 mile month with the way this is going. So, man, the old split body geometry saddles. I know some people like those. They're so strange, but yeah. Huh. If anyone has dealt with reoccurring saddle sore problems, message you in the Discord. On a Pugsley 26. Yeah. I guess, yeah. That's the other thing. Dirt jumpers and then older fat bikes makes sense. I wasn't really thinking about those two categories when I made that statement. 3D printed saddles look like Wasp. Hey, what's up, Dylan? Oh, did we hit like a new milestone? You have a new logo next to your name. He has the Tuna Boat logo. We must have hit a the OG channel members must have hit a new metric. That's the first time I've seen that. It's a little tuna guy Micah made. for when I told him I needed.
Oh, I thought it was like a flag.
Yeah, it's a little small. Yeah, there, but yeah.
To me, it just looked
Oh,
like
you can.
your outline or your industrial gravel outline.
What's up, traffic? Actually, bring back the penny farthing. Yeah, what size were? Well, those were all over the place too, right? How did you get? Well, I know early ones they didn't have pneumatic tires, but yeah, they must have been in a few standard sizes. But Rhino lights are essentially in nearly every size and can run rim brakes. Interesting. Magura rim brake bikes for 650B. Huh. Oh, you ride 58, so the disc trucker is not in 26 for that. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that feeling from big wheels like rolling over everything, but also I could see where having wider tires would be benefit in certain situations. So. Huh. So you used to ride 650s and you've gone up to 700. Yeah, the only two, well, outside of the old American 27 that I might have a bike running on. Everything here is 700 or 26 inch. There's no 650. So. Speaking of NAFTA, its replacement is only called USMCA in America. In Canada, we call it CUSMA because it's pronounceable and goes in order geographically. Okay. Ah, you did go 700 on the monsoon. It felt like you were riding a horse. That the bottom bracket was way too high. Otis said when he put 650 on my Raleigh that he did have to worry about pedal strike with that bike. So. I'm not familiar with that model, Radiant. Uh, Outside, actual, from very vintage up into my Tamland, and then we had a buddy, Micah, who had like a touring rally. I'm not familiar with a ton of their output, but they've also been all over the place as a company as they've been bought and sold. So, and now they're like a mail order brand again. What's up, Michael? The Rivendell Clem has different tire size based on the frame size. Yeah, that's smart. It makes sense, right? To put 700Cs on like a really small bike is kind of strange. So. Utter butter for the win on saddle sores. Oh yeah. Do I have the tune? Oh, he's in there. The emojis. Yeah. You'll probably have that next week, Pudgy, or tomorrow even. Cause you guys are all within a few days. Yeah, I think it gave me the option to change that for people who have been members for so long. Just a little while ago, they've been adding that because memberships weren't old enough to need it up until recently. So. You have a DIY e-bike built up from a 26-inch frame that you got 29 2.1s on? That's crazy. Yeah. Magura rim brakes are hydraulic. Oh, and they're great. Huh. I've never been down with the idea of hydraulic brakes because I don't want to deal with it. Just like Russ from Pathless Metal made a video trying it out for the first time and dealing with it, but that's just me. So. Jay said your goal this year is to ride more styles of bikes. I do. I want to. Last year I said this. I'm like, I want to jump on more of my old bikes that I showed in that last video and ride them more and more. But when it comes down to it, I've got like two bikes that just work so well for everything I do. But I'm glad I have the experience of riding them over the years, and I still get on them for specialty stuff. But now you're going to ride the OTET this year. Nice. Yeah. We talked. Someone asked earlier if we have any trips planned, and we had talked about possibly doing it again, but. Pole needs and all of the above. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's not. We got to be divisive. You know, that's what gets the views and the likes. So yeah. Whoops. Chris said I haven't been on the channel in 6 months and it's still about saddles and Randy Hutt's tires. Glad nothing has changed. We've you jumped in on the night we talked about Brooks saddles again. We had been on point. We had taken a break about 6 months, and then you jumped in on the night that we brought it back up again. So. We run a tight tuna boat here. Yeah. Thrifty Frame Builder, you asked if I had to shrink the collection to an absolute minimum, what number of bikes could I get down to? I think the absolute minimum I could get the collection down to would be 5. I couldn't get rid of my white Peugeot, the PH10L. I couldn't get rid of the Riviera because it was a friend who passed away. The Gunner and the Tamland are essential because I literally need those. I mean, those are the bikes that I actually like ride the miles on. And then probably my vintage Trek, considering, not vintage, my mountain bike Trek, considering I bought that bike new, and it's the only new bike I've ever bought. It would be hard to part with that bike. So I could probably get it down to 5 if I had to. Say I was like moving and it was like, you can't take all of these. But that would suck because I do like I said, having the single speed to leave outside when I go to work a job for 3 hours and it has to be chained up somewhere. I like having a bike that I'm not overly concerned about and also is just kind of upright and chill. But I could, you know, ride the Riviera in those situations, something that's less appealing to steal. But problem bike thieves, they're not trying to steal a bike that they think is expensive. They're trying to steal what's there. Oh, hello, Edmund. He just jumped on my lap out of nowhere. We got the guy. Yeah. Five seems reasonable, but I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't want to sell that stump jumper, you know. There was one other I was just thinking about. My vintage Trek, the Trek 500. That would be a tough one to part with. I did OTED on it a couple times. It's a really, really pretty bike. Just cool. I know they brought back those old logos and stuff for a couple runs of bikes, but just a different way. Edmund. Don't mind me if I go side saddle. Dennis said your goal this year is to get a trailer for your bike. Man, it depends on what kind of stuff you ride, but I would rather have my stuff on the bike. Just pulling this cat here in the trailer and just going to like local parks is fine, but man, if you could figure it out without the trailer, I would go that route. It's not my cup of tea. And again, you're limiting the way you can ride. I think you're changing the way your bike feels. I mean, not that loading your bike up doesn't change the way it feels, but personally, I just find you could get so much gear just on a bike. But me and Ben have talked about doing a winter camp out where we need more layers and me using the trailer, but it's just, yeah. I don't find it's a fun way to ride. I mean, granted, the one I have is cheap for pulling pets around, and there are much nicer ones, and I've never tried them. But I think getting some panniers would be a better option. Get a rack and panniers. But yeah, I know. I was talking about Road Apple earlier, Kyrix. Like, I usually like to ride that really hard, and I am so not in the shape to do that this year. Hey, what's up, Mile High? Yeah, it has been a while since the live chats. I know I've been following your music and stuff still on IG and YouTube. So, Mike High, thanks. Yep, got the Edmund in here. Yeah, it's Joe. A couple people have been asking about like I don't know why. Just like I've got a number of questions about worrying about your bike when bike packing lately. I don't know if it was you, but someone asked me about. They said their friend like they bought an extra big tent so they could put their bike in the tent with them. That seems a little paranoid and overboard to me. Like, bring a bigger lock. I mean, if you're in a tent, you're gonna hear someone trying to cut through a big lock. You know what I mean? Like, me and Dylan are out camping in New York, and a raccoon got into his bag, and we both heard it. So, yeah, bike packing is one of the times I worry the least about my bike. We're out at a state park or wherever we're camping or in the middle of nowhere, but where people go is different. The one comment was like in California, they were saying where they go, there's a lot of I don't know what word they use, transients or homeless or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I would just that's like to me, bike packing is one of the least of my worries. Like when we go out and stop in a restaurant, we don't even always lock our bikes to something. We just lock them together because bike packing loaded bikes would be such a pain to steal. So these bikes, I took all the parts off one bike and put it on another bike for no reason. I do feel like that's what I was doing a lot for a long time, just moving stuff around, but I would have a little bit of a reason. So want to know how much Edmund weighs? I made an appointment to take Edmund to it's been more than a year, but his year vet. So February 17th, so that's a Monday, so that's the Tuesday stream after February 17th. I'll be able to tell you how much Edmund weighs. So yeah, Mile High, we're definitely planning on it. So yeah, that'll be awesome if you make it out there. A couple other people have mentioned trying to make it from Chicago, and so hey, what's up, Wes? Hey, what's up, Touring on 23s? A couple channel members just popping in. Oh, you talking about the trailer? Touring did a tour with one and ended up ditching it in the woods and coming back to get it later. Yeah. Like I said, I watched that one where Francis Cade rode across the country with his buddy who's in the wheelchair, so they used a trailer to put his regular wheelchair on there when he wasn't riding. And they went through a number of iterations till they got to one he liked the best for a trailer, but still never enjoyed it. Oh, Wes, you're going to make it out there too. Nice. Trailers had a big wreck risk on tour. You forget about it, then hook it on something. Oh, didn't even think about that. When we were doing the Gap in CNO, we were stopped at a little rest area, and there was a guy riding with a trailer, and we were talking to him a little bit, and I asked him about it. He was like, "Oh, I love this thing. I can put whatever I want in here." I also go with Dylan's mentality of, nature abhors a vacuum, and if you make that space, you're not going to limit what you take, and then you're going to load it down even more. And I've definitely find that when I ride my rally and I just put a Swift Zeitgeist on the front and on the back, it helps me eliminate a bunch of stuff that I've never actually missed. I've never been out on tour and been like, well, Large, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't think of a time where I've been out on tour and been like, I really wish I had this with me. So, and obviously summer touring is a different situation than winter touring. So, hey Tim, when is the cold going to be done here in Northeast Ohio? You never know. You never know. That's the problem. So, last year was already done by this point, right?
I thought this was the time when we had our little cold spell.
Oh, did we? Is this when we got that real cold weather?
It was right around January, February, and then we skipped spring and went straight into middle of summer.
Oh, IKEA, right? You're saying what you would do if you had a fire and you had to get a bike out the door. Yeah. If I had to save one bike out the door, I'd probably grab my Raleigh. be hard to leave the gunner behind, but I mean, the sentimental bikes at that point would probably matter less. You know, I don't know, because they're still bikes. I still want to ride them at the end of the day.
Yeah, but you can always get a
Yeah.
new bike to ride every day. You can't
That's true.
get Josh's bike back.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I can't. That's true. But you know, if it's a fire, it might still be there and it'd be a wall hanger. You know.
There you go.
I'm pretty sentimental about the ride. I meant to look it up for the video, but I mean, it's got to be like 20,000 miles on that thing. So. Did a good job of getting way behind again, Allison. Thanks, Tim. Just need to get a new rack for the back of the bike. Just need to figure out where you could attach the tent to. One thing I would say, Dennis, depending on what you were going to spend on a trailer, and I don't know what a decent trailer costs, and you could save that money because a rack would be so much cheaper, I would look into upgrading your tent to one that, you know, a bike packing one that fits almost anywhere, because even that could be strapped into the triangle of the frame sometimes. So I'm using an old, my tent is a, not old, it's not old, but by any standard, but it's a backpacking tent, so the poles don't fold up that small, but my bikes are big, so I have room for it. But I would look into investing into, you know, a tent that fits in, like, onto the rack you want, you know, a waterproof bag. Even people, you know, wrap stuff in Tyvek, which costs nothing to keep stuff dry. So, yeah, I would look into, instead of spending money on the trailer, take that money and spend it on some lighter, more packable gear. That's always a recommendation from me because, like, I'm not a weight weenie, but there are certain things that make your riding just way more enjoyable. So, barbed wire locks for for bike packing. Dr. Bob said trailer is useful. You like hauling camping gear half mile is different than, you know, like that's what I said. Depends on what you're doing. Riding across Ohio, I don't want a trailer on me. What we were doing in Michigan, you couldn't have. You would have not made it. Like our panniers there were times where our panniers were becoming a little bit of an issue on some of the stuff we were riding. So, just really depends on what you're doing. So, yeah. Another compliment for Mile High's music there. Maybe you're stressing too much about it then. Plan on having a U-lock for your bike when you bike pack. Yeah, I would be careful about the idea of a U-lock too, because there's not, depending on where you're camping, a U-lock might not be something you know, can get your bike around. Like a lot of times we're locking our bikes to picnic tables or trees on the edge of the woods. So I wouldn't say don't bring your U-lock, but I would have another cable lock with you as well, for sure. Wes, you bet Edmund is 10 or 12 pounds? I think he's more. So I think he was 10 pounds when he went to get fixed, and they told me he was 10 months old. So, yeah. Steve Hansen, good luck stealing a bike with loaded panniers. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I trust the helmet lock. You know, depends on where we are. I mean, you got to be smart about it, but I mean, think of where you're bike packing. Is there anyone who's going to be there to steal a bike? But yeah, sometimes I just run my helmet around the rear tire and through the frame. And when we're somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, and a lot of times when we're camping, I just use those really cheap honesty locks to lock it to the table. It's just something to slow someone down. It's almost like a why not lock it overnight, because I have that lock. But I just, at the state campgrounds we camp at a lot of like state parks, I am not worried about my bike there. And we've been in Ohio, New York State. Last year we did the Finger Lakes all through New York. There was not a time where we were camping where I was worried about someone stealing my bike, you know. Racer, I saw the thumbnail for that video. I didn't watch it. I don't live somewhere where I need that kind of lock, so I tend not to worry about those videos, so, or watch those videos, because they're just not information I need. You know, when we rode into New York City a couple years ago and we all had our bikes, we were very, you know, on guard about where we put them and where we locked them. And even me and Dylan were, this time around, me and Dylan weren't there that long, and we weren't leaving our bikes really out of sight or places, for any kind of long period of time. So it was less of an issue. But glad you're loving the Bombora, Wes. I know you're excited about that. Yeah, and I get the whole lock thing. If you're somewhere where you feel you need it, do it. And it's your bike. I mean, you got to feel comfortable with it. If it's going to keep you up all night worrying about it, then put a heavy lock on there. So, this is just my opinion. So, get your bike stolen. That's your fault. Thanks, Wes. $200 U-lock, yeah. My bike's never sitting anywhere where it needs a $200 U-lock on it. Like even New York, I wouldn't leave it long enough. Like it's not anywhere where someone's going to get in there with an angle grinder in time, right? Done. Head to the mountains too. Ride the lakes, rocks and trees. Get in on the White Mountain goats this year. Yeah, I've heard people like the one-wheel trailers the best. Again, no real world experience for me. No, I've never used tailfin. I don't really see. I think they're cool. I think they're designed for road bikes that aren't made to hold trailers. Like that's where they would really shine. Yeah. I look at some of those like road bikes when people are loading up tail fins, and I don't know how those bikes can handle well because they have the short stays and you're putting all the weight on the back. So, yeah. Just putting all the weight on the back of my Trek 500 from 1983 made that bike handle like shit. I can't imagine the tail fin system on a modern road bike. But, yeah. That's not about tail fin specifically, but just where you're putting the weight. I just think for their price and what they're doing, it's not something that's is relevant to the way I bike pack. Whereas like my Gunner handles and my Raleigh both handle having the weight towards the front much better. So I do like that they're welded bags. So if weather is a big concern, they're waterproof. So the tail fin stuff's good for that. You can break up the tent into the panniers, roll in one bag. Yeah. That's the other thing. I don't carry bags of bags. Like my tent, I don't bring the bag the tent came in because it's going in a bag. I don't bring a unless you're doing compression stuff. Like for my sleeping bag, I don't put it into the sleeping bag. I put it in the pannier, push it down, put other stuff on it, roll the top, or if it's going in the Zeitgeist, push it in there, put the tent stuff on top, put all the materials, close it up tight. So. All the gear I need for a weekend fits in one walled basket. Yeah. Aaron came pretty close to packing like that a couple years. Just had a catalyst on the back, so a small bag on the back. But yeah, Wild Monkey. That's what I was kind of referencing Dylan's quote. Like the more space you have, the more you'll take. I definitely found when I used the Gunner with both panniers and then put the Zeitgeist on the back, and then I still put the catalyst on the front. I just packed more, and I didn't need to be that weighted down. So, hi, Seon. Thanks. What time is it?
About 22.
Yeah, we need wow, we've been going. It's been a good conversation, though. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty good. Huh? Again, this is all over my head, Racer. So, Logan said a buddy of mine who is plus size bike packs with a Coho XC trailer. He also has 12 gauge spokes laced. He hasn't had any trailer issues yet. Yeah. Then again, even if you don't have issues, is it just the way you want to ride your bike? And for me, it's not. But that's all personal. So. I want my bikes to handle as much like they should as possible, but Oh yeah, for grocery shopping and stuff like that, you know. But again, we're talking shorter trips, you know, not, you know, cross state or 5, 6 days. Yeah, I'm guessing Edmund's 15. That's my guess. Take off the front or rear wheel, no lock needed. Yeah. Yeah, the hip lock is. I have that simple hip lock that I love, but again, that's not for city stuff. So.
Zenkick became a member.
Hey, welcome Zen Kick. Appreciate you. I've used the Chinesium alarms on your bike, especially for the breweries with the tiny helmet lock. It scares the kids mostly. Huh, is that something that makes noise? Like when someone takes your bike? Do you know about Chinesium alarms?
I've never heard of it. Where?
Oh, huh. If you're married to bringing a U-lock, you can bring a loop-ended cable to use with the U-lock. Makes total sense, Brian. Never even thought of it because I'm not a U-lock guy. But touring said it bombed some hills in West Michigan on your Klein Quantum, rigged with racks, and it handles surprisingly well. Yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes when I talk about racks and where I put the weight, people will make some definitive statement. Bikes are all different. That's why, you know, classic touring bikes have long stays, and then with the weight on the back, it handles fine. Yeah, like I said, when I was trying to tour on a vintage bike, they didn't handle fine that way, but they weren't made for touring, so. Cafe locks can be a great lightweight to turn to, much smaller than U-lock, but they immobilize the wheel. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Another thing people do is, I know there's a thing where you like put it in the hardest gear before you get off the bike, so if someone tries to steal it, it barely moves. Like just those little kind of tricks like that are kind of like the helmet lock thing. So. The hip lock FX has been great. Dylan said used it at Ray's last weekend because they have storage lockers there. Build quality feels pretty bad, but it's one of the most compact locks. Yeah, and you know when it comes to the build quality, mine must be 6 years old, and I take it on almost every ride, so it's actually held up. Again, it's not going to stop someone with a nice set of bolt cutters. That's not what they're for. They would never claim that, but I would never claim that either. So, welcome again, Zen Kick. Appreciate it. Favorite cereal? We're going to get into this at 9:45. But Ryan Clapp is right on with Frosted Mini Wheats, even though I don't eat them anymore. But all right, see you later, Wild Monkey. Motion alarms for bikes all over Amazon. Huh. Have to check that out. Yeah, like you said, probably something just to scare someone away. But this cat.
I'm not seeing that. Where is that, like a brand or something?
He said they're motion alarms all over Amazon. So. Well, before the chat blows back up and I get behind, it's been 1 hour and 45 minutes, so why don't we wind it up? So, I don't know. Hopefully we get lucky with the weather and this forecast isn't what it is, what they say it's going to be. Then hopefully also see some of you at Road Apple Roubaix, some of you at the channel members meetup on March 22nd and Otis Roubaix on the 23rd. And then we'll see what's going on, I don't know, down the road, and hopefully we could do more of these kind of things. I'll also keep everyone posted if I'm heading through your area solo. All right. Have a great night. Peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.